What is it that you see that makes a recession or depression either happening now or inevitable? What do you see that they're missing?
Yeah, first of all, I don't think we're in a depression now as far as the economic conditions. I said that by the time the historians look back on this time period, this could be the beginning of that depression, because I think the depression is in our future, really not in our past. And the way we've been kind of holding back the tides of depression is through debt and inflation. And so we've been, kicking the can down the road, but we're really sowing the seeds of the future depression that I believe the time period we're in now will just be lumped in with it, right? Not like this is the earlier stages of that prolonged period that is really going to coincide with, having to come to terms with all the mistakes that we've made in the past. It's like the chickens coming home to roost because of bad monetary and fiscal policy that go back, for decades. We're in a huge hole. And it isn't going to be easy to get out of it. And the time period where we're going to get out of it, that's, it's going to be hard times, and the government is in a position to make those times a lot harder. So, that's a wild card as to how the government is going to react to this unfolding crisis and how much worse they might make it be. Now, as far as hyperinflation, yeah, I was talking about a hyperinflation scenario back in the early days of the 2008 financial crisis, based on the way the government reacted to that with quantitative easing. And I knew that the road that we were going down could lead to hyperinflation. Now, I always said that was a worst case scenario. I never said, hey, it's for sure. But of course, the media, everybody picks up on my warnings of hyperinflation. I still think that hasn't been taken off the table. And the odds of that are actually greater now than they were when I first started warning about it. But I always said that, look, that's the worst case scenario. You destroy your currency completely, where you're talking Weimar Republic, Zimbabwe. But what I did say was inevitable was very high inflation. And we've just started to experience that in recent years. And I don't think that's over. I mean, I think we're going to see higher inflation. Right now, the high watermark for year-over-year CPI was just over 9%. That's not going to cap this. We're going to go into the double digits. And the first digit might not be a 1. Now that still wouldn't be hyperinflation, right? If we have 20% inflation, that's not hyperinflation, right?
That's curl up in a fetal position and suck your thumb and cry yourself to sleep territory.
It's bad, but also if you compare what we have now, I guess everybody wants to say, look, it's not that bad because look how much worse it was in the 70s, where we had inflation 10, 11, 12% for several years. What people don't understand is that you're comparing apples to oranges, because the CPI that was in use in the 70s is not the same CPI that we use today.